He remembers with nostalgia the safari rally of the yesteryears when it was a part and parcel of the World Rally Championship, when it used to excite the whole nation.
My experience with safari rally is when I was growing up, when we used to wake up in the nights to watch those cars, of course, in darkness, and I used to fear the sounds. They used to make a lot of noise. And, normally it used to be those rainy seasons and everything was just muddy and stuff. We would wake up at night to go watch the cars, go distances just to see these cars. And I think that's where my interest for motorsport was actually born. And then maybe in the 90s, 2000s, when it was last held in Kenya, where I just witnessed and I saw the last of what was to be the WRC then, Colin McRae, all Richard Barnes doing this thing. And I really, really wanted to take part. And I'm glad I actualized that dream. And finally, I get to sit in a WRC event. Last time I watched this was maybe on television, because by then I think I was in school somewhere, so I was not able to watch.
KBC. Why are you not saying KBC? You watched it on KBC, I'm sure.
Yes, that
Well, it's now a different ballgame altogether following his reinstatement in the World Rally calendar after 19 years in the cold, and a new experience for Absalom Aswani, who will not be watching from the spectator zone, as is now one of the participants who will be navigating Evans KBC of the Green Life team.
For me, I would say it's a dream come true. There have been years when I really wanted to see this. But not only seeing this, but participating actually has been one of my prayers or goals in life, to do a WRC. And I'm glad that it's happening in my turf, where I'll be taking part.
What do you remember about the safari rally from what you saw, wherever you saw?
He's gained a lot of experience since being identified by Azza Anwar as good to go.
I am 15 years now into motorsport, into rallying. Earlier on we started it off and working as protege to Azza Anwar, and I think he led quite a good number of people who eventually, I think I remember one time I told him, before I quit your team, I must sit with you. And lucky for me, you know what, I sat with Azza Anwar in one of the Guru Nanak events. I think that was in 2013 or 2014 there. I sat with him and we finished a good 6th position. And it was quite a good experience for me, which actually I was able to learn a lot and gave me a lot of confidence into what I'm doing right now.
And it's come in handy for a number of top drivers in an area that is very crucial in any rally, actually the most important.
I started off with Adnan Suhail, I've sat with Charles Hinga, I've sat with Steve Gasheru, I have sat with Azza Anwar, I have sat with who else? There are many other people I cannot even be able to remember. Which we have done very well up to now. When we're sitting, even outside the country, I sat with some Tanzanian teams. I started off with Gurjit, where we won my first event outside Kenya. I went and won an event in Tanzania. After that, I sat with Gurpal Sandhu, who was sitting in an Evo 10, which was made by Azza Anwar, locally made from Azza Anwar, and I managed to win the championship in 2012 in Tanzania. A year after, I think 2015 or 16 there, I joined another team, went back to the team that originally had taken me there, and I partnered with Ajminda, it's called Ajminda Dhani, and we were performing very well up to one time when we had a nasty accident where unfortunately somebody was knocked, and it was quite bad in Tanga. Last weekend actually they also had an event in Tanga. So yeah, that was the last time I sat with him, and then I sat with his cousin again, who I sat with him until last year. Yes, that's when I actually came back, and we partnered with seriously now to work continuously with Evans guys. Every person I've sat with had to do quite well and register quite some good results, starting from 2-wheel drive all the way to 4-wheel drive. And then, yeah, now where we are competing at this level, where remember we started with Evans, that was in 2018, where we did our first safari. And it was quite an interesting event. Him being, was his first event ever. And unfortunately, we didn't finish, but I'm glad we took the lessons, and we are here, where we are, and we are not doing bad. Looking at our position right now in the series. Last year, had it not been for the COVID, we ended the season at position 4 in the KNRC. So in our group, we were probably leading. I think in our category, we were leading, and we managed to get to position 4 at that level, because that's when now we got into a serious competing position. Now with this N10, with the others who were just amongst the groups trying to learn our ropes and all that. But we have had good finishes. I think we had quite of some non-finish positions.
A navigator has his work cut out and requires a lot of organizational skills, has to be fit, and above all have a good chemistry with the driver, and he found that with Evans.
It's a nice, fantastic, but I think before you sit with somebody, there's that chemistry that has to be. There's that chemistry of friendship. You have to understand each other. You have to know when to push, when to say what, when to do what exactly. Because I mean, this is a very sensitive space, small space that you are in, and it's dangerous, and the atmosphere in there is really hot, and it can change at any 1 minute. So you just have to know what to do and when to do it. But I can say so far he's been a fantastic, one of the fantastic people I've seen.
But it ain't that easy, as a lot happens during an actual event, which brings a lot of pressure.
Sitting in a rally car is like, for those who understand what marriage works, it's more like a marriage, because you know that somebody is angry, but he doesn't mean it. He's not angry because he's really angry. He's just angry that whatever it is has happened, and that is a situation that is well understood in our circles. So you're not angry because it's bad, but you are angry because you want your team to succeed. So we know that it's for the best of the team. So we don't take it so bad, but it happens.
And this being a navigator Safari Rally, how prepared is he for the task ahead?
WRC is going to be a navigator's rally, especially. I want just to limit myself to the stages that we have seen. And Sleeping Water is quite a stage. It's quite. It has the both. It has a lot to do with it. It has the roughs, it has twisties, it has straights, and a combination of all that. And it actually requires both of you to be switched on to handle it. But more or less, it's more of a navigator's kind of to keep the driver on it. Otherwise, you will lose it. Especially in those twisty, rocky areas, you just need to be alert to do it. But I can say it is a balanced event, and probably the worst of the stages are yet to be seen. Probably I've just managed to see some images of the other stages that are happening in the forest that are really not straight, but twisties, where if you miss a corner, you are headed for a tree. And trust me, WRC guys, if they're used to the speeds, they are not going to like it here.
Absalom Aswani says that they will leave nothing to chance when they go flat out in the WRC Safari Rally, where he roots for the local boys' support, for they will add to the excitement. So better watch out for the Green Life team.
Mentally, I am, because it's all about what I can see and how it's for him to be there. But for me, having been there before, I think we can hack it. We just need to probably work on our mud. I'm just hoping that it doesn't rain. But even it will be good. A good mix if it rains, because I don't think we liked our experience with the two stages. There was Malewa and Londia. It had just rained, and by the time we got there, it was messy. So we were not making any, but we had a lot. I can say we learned a lot from those few stages, and we're gonna attack them differently this time. Welcome to Londia, and Sleeping Water is waiting for you. Sleeping Water is waiting for you. God forbid if I will come across some of you packed on the side, because those rocks will be waiting there for you. Some rocks there have your names written on, so welcome.